Good morning, those of you that are entering into our room. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining our Lunch and Learn on today. And so I'm going to ask the co-host to go ahead and mute everyone's microphone. And so if you so happen to just hit unmute by mistake, please make sure that you keep your lines muted so that we won't have any lagging and echoing, and everyone will be able to hear. So we do greatly appreciate that. And so as we want to keep aligned with our timing, I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to Dr. Grigsby, which is one of our elementary assistant superintendents. So at this time, Dr. Grigsby.
Good morning to our families and amazing partners in educating our scholars. We're so glad that you all were able to join us and take time out of your busy schedule to learn more about the virtual plan. Do know that we'll be available to answer all questions pertaining to high school at the end of the session. However, the chat feature will be utilized to capture some of your questions as well. Please know that we're recording this session so that it can be accessed through the website for your resources by the end of this week. While this presentation is designed to reach high school scholars and families, you might see some components related to elementary and middle school as well, so that we can accommodate families who have all age groups in the household. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to some of the presenters that are going to be presenting with us today. We have Ms. Alina Anderson, the parent coordinator. We have Dr. Talitha Bingham, who's from the Office of Exceptional Education. She's our executive director. We have Ms. Tiffany Fuller, director of English Learners and Special Population. We have Mr. Sherwin Johnson, Executive Director of Public Engagement. We have Ms. Erin Mason, Director of Instructional Technology. Dr. Faith Strong, Director of the Homeless Liaison. Dr. Hollins and Ms. Kershaw, representative from Enrollment Services, may be on. Ms. Amanda Thomas, Executive Director of Climate and Wellness, as well as Dr. Kimberly Smith, Executive Director of the Office of Teaching and Learning. And I hope I haven't left anyone out from the presentation. Did I say Ms. Thea Faulkner? We have also Ms. Thea Faulkner, who's with us as the Director of Partners in Education. I'm sorry, I drew a blank. So one of the things that we want to share with you all today, our objective, next slide please, is to share information about virtual learning and the expectations. And by the way, we also have our lovely Assistant Superintendent from high schools, Ms. Marshall Thomas, with us. And we're going to share how parents and families can support by providing suggested schedules and resources for you all. You all do know, for those of you who have been with us at least for the last year, that our vision is to prepare scholars to achieve globally. And this is what we want to do through our platforms. And as we continue in the virtual learning environment, we want to make sure that we're striving towards that vision. Our mission is that we want to develop scholars through world-class learning experiences. And some of the things that we're going to share with you all today will be aligned with that. We also have our core values: equity, excellence, growth mindset, relationship, relevance, positive and respectful cultures that we embed in all that we do, whether we're present traditionally, hybrid, or virtually. And last but not least, we want to share our 2 of the 5 commitments that we have: innovative teaching and learning, and we have COVID to thank for that, as well as joyful learning environment. Our agenda for today It's going to be virtual learning expectations, the virtual learning space, learning management systems, virtual schedule, attendance, special populations, registration, communication, parenting center, and COVID community support. And as I stated at the end of this session, we're going to have a Q&A, and all of us will be there, but any high school specific information, Ms. Marshall Thomas will be able to assist us with. If you joined us yesterday, you've learned that we have 2 sessions per day, 11:30 to 12:30, and then 5:30 to 7 o'clock. So we'll be back this evening as well, and you'll see that we had elementary yesterday, high school is today, and middle school will be tomorrow. I'm now going to turn you over to Ms. Amanda Thomas to help us lead us in the discussion on virtual learning expectations and the code of conduct.
Great morning, everyone. So in my hand, I have this lovely code of conduct book that I know that you're used to getting at the very beginning of each school year. This code of conduct book is located on our JPS website, and this year it does have interactive links in which you can click on the table of contents and you can go to the various sections. Well, we know that our students are going to be engaging in learning from a virtual standpoint. However, we still expect them to maintain the same appropriate behavior that they would if we were being face-to-face. So we can go to the next slide. Some of the areas that we expect your students to engage fully in the learning activity. And what does that look like? You know, if they're having a Zoom discussion, we expect it to be a two-way communication. You know, they're speaking respectfully and kindly to the teacher as well as to their peers. Maintaining integrity. Now, we ask that boys and girls do their own work, that there's no copying of their classwork and sharing with their peers. Conducting themselves appropriately and, as I stated, respecting all the rules and regulations of the school district, even throughout this virtual learning experience. One of the major emphasis that we want to provide is being fully dressed, appropriately dressed during this time. We are not requiring uniforms, and of course with high schools you would not have uniforms anyway, but even with the high school guidelines for virtual learning expectation, it should be the same. We want to make sure that, as I stated, you're fully covered, no excessive body showing, as well as no language and photographs, different character on display for their various clothing. Also, the background that is selected, as we see our virtual backgrounds this morning, we want to make sure that it's appropriate as well. The posting of pictures. One thing I do want to emphasize, and you need to emphasize with your boys and girls, is that, you know, when we're chatting and we're doing these things virtually, they're not private. You know, they're not private, and anything can be retrieved. So we want to make sure that they're not posting any pictures or taking any screenshots during the video sessions. Security and safety is a high priority, and we know that it is illegal to harm any of the computer devices that they may be using as well. So we want to make sure that boys and girls are adhering to the code of conduct through this virtual learning experience. And I know that you all will assist us with that. Thank you.
And now for academics for elementary, just a brief overview since this is the high school session. Our pre-K scholars will continue to use the OWL curriculum. Our K through second grade scholars will engage with foundations to provide those foundational skills. Wit and Wisdom will be used K through 5 for reading and language arts, ready math for K through 5th. We have some instructional time guidelines per day, and that will be 240 minutes per day. So that's about 4 hours. And during the week, the students will have an opportunity to participate in a variety of special activities, including PE, art, music, counseling through instructional activities that enhance movement, creativity, music, and social emotional support. For high school secondary academics, Secondary materials will be distributed through Canvas, and you'll hear more about Canvas, but the assignments will be housed there, and it'll be based on the subject areas being taught. Each subject area will follow the JPS pacing guide, as well as the state framework, the Mississippi College and Career Readiness Standards as well. The instructional guidelines and times per day for high school, for secondary, for middle school, it's required that each subject area provide 50 minutes of work per day. For high schools, it's required that each subject area provides 85 minutes per day. So we'll make sure that physical education is included for 30-minute activities. Will include art and music teachers. The Career Development Center will be developing project-based lessons, as well as dual credit and dual enrollment courses. They'll continue to follow the instructional guidelines of the college or university. With that said, I'm going to take you to Dr. Kim Smith, who is going to tell us more about the virtual learning space.
Great morning. So with our virtual learning space, we're going to discuss Netiquette and the learning environment. So with our Netiquette, we do have Zoom expectations. We do expect for our scholars to wake up early enough, log in a few minutes before class so they can be on time, be in a quiet place with not many distractions so they can be all engaged in the lesson that their teacher is providing. Being prepared, make sure the computer is charged, that your audio and visual settings are working, and if they need headphones, that they already have them. Again, Ms. Thomas has already talked about wearing appropriate clothing and just being prepared and being ready. Even though you're comfortable at home, being in the space as if you were at school, sitting up straight with the camera in view, meaning that the camera is to be on during those live sessions. Making sure, just as I asked you all, to mute your computer or mute your line when the teacher or another student is talking, being focused, attentive, and being an active participant in class. And what that means is, in a virtual setting, when we're asking students to be actively participating in class, that they're utilizing their chat box to ask questions, provide input. There are features where they can raise their hand. And some of our students that participated in the Boost program is very familiar with those particular features that they have access to in Zoom. Also, making sure they chat responsibly, communicate, and being respectful. So our learning environment will consist of us using our learning management system. And since this is our high school group, they will, our students will be involved in utilizing Canvas. Canvas is a learning management platform that enables the teachers to actually be able to post assignments. Students can retrieve those assignments. There will be videos there, links to other learning resources that students can use to help engage them, as well as help them to understand the concept that is being taught. They would be expected to turn in their assignments via Canvas. They would also be expected to be logged in so that we can engage their attendance as well. And we'll talk about that a little later. But we want to make sure that all of our scholars and parents can engage in the platform from any location and receive feedback on student learning. So we're going to watch a quick video that regards Canvas and how Canvas is set up for those of you that may not have participated in the other meetings that our high schools have provided for the past couple of weeks. So we're going to watch a quick video with Canvas.
In this video, you will learn about the Canvas dashboard and global navigation links, and about basic course navigation to view assignment details and grades. Card View displays a course card for each of your favorite courses. New courses automatically display on the dashboard. You can manage your favorite courses from the Courses link in Global Navigation. Click Courses and click the All Courses link. Click the star icon next to any course to mark it as one of your favorite courses. Return to the dashboard by clicking the dashboard link. Each card can include 4 clickable icons for assignments, announcements, discussions, and files. To help organize your dashboard, you can manage course card settings by clicking the Options icon. In Course Card Options, you can create a nickname for your course and change the color of the course card. You can also manage the color overlay for all course cards with images. To remove or display color overlays, click the Dashboard Options icon and select the Color Overlay option. The course card color displays behind the card's Options icon. Recent Activity displays a stream of recent notifications from all your students' courses, including conversations and assignments. You can view the details of
Something happened. I'm not sure what it is. Okay.
The sidebar includes a Coming Up feed and a View Grades button. The Coming Up feed lists aligns with the bottom of the page. Canvas displays a global navigation menu that gives you direct access to various areas of Canvas. From the account link, you can modify your user settings, specify your notification preferences, upload personal files, manage e-portfolios, and log out of Canvas. Click the dashboard link to return to the Canvas dashboard at any time. Click the Courses link to quickly access your favorite courses and to view a list of all your courses. Click the Calendar link to view your personal calendar and course calendars. Click the Inbox link to view and send conversations within Canvas to instructors. And finally, click the Help link to access help resources for your institution. Now let's take a look at the course interface. Click the Courses link and then click the name of the course you want to visit. Canvas automatically opens courses to the course homepage set by the course instructor. The course interface consists of 4 main components. Course content displays in the content area. You can use the course navigation links, breadcrumb navigation, or the sidebar to navigate to different areas of the course. The course homepage sidebar includes a Coming Up feed displaying upcoming activity in the course. You can click any assignment name to view the assignment details. Return to the course homepage by clicking the home link or the course name in the breadcrumb navigation. You may be able to view your student's course grade by clicking the Grades link in course navigation. The Grades page displays their current course grade and a clickable list of all of the course's graded assignments and assignment details. You've now completed this tutorial video on the Canvas overview for observers. For additional information on this or any other topic about Canvas, please visit guides.canvaslms.com.
So while we're getting the presentation back up, we're going to get ready to talk about virtual schedules. Please know that this session is being recorded. So for those of you who are trying to do some screen sharing and some recording on your devices, this feature won't allow you to do that, but we will, for your convenience, post this recording on the web by the end of this week. So if you all saw some glitches, that's probably what that was due to. So virtual schedules. The virtual learning involves 5 days per week of teacher-directed, synchronous, and independent learning asynchronous instruction. Students will follow their virtual schedule times and courses for synchronous learning. So let's talk about what is synchronous learning and what is asynchronous learning. So synchronous learning is when the online learning occurs at the same time with the teacher face to face. So scholars are going to be able to engage with the teachers, provide immediate feedback with the teachers, as well as get into groups with their classmates to engage in discussion and some critical thinking. For asynchronous learners, the learners may have an independent assignment and can go at their own pace. Some of the questions that we've already seen in the chats and even from yesterday's session is, you know, I'm at work and we're utilizing the Wi-Fi on my cell phone. Does my child need to be face-to-face? So as they talk with their classroom teachers about their specific needs, the sessions will be recorded and they will be posted so that students will have access to them. But towards the end of the session today, Ms. Marshall Thomas can give you all more information about that. The first day of school expectations. So the scholars with devices, and by the way, students do not have to use the district's device in order to have a successful virtual learning experience. If there's a device that they're already using from home, as long as it's compatible to Canvas, it will work. They'll join their homeroom classroom through a video conferencing application, which will be Zoom. They could also use Google Meet. Scholars will receive their login information via school status, as well as parent and student emails. Scholars will be provided with additional classroom login information during their homeroom class. Those scholars without devices will be expected to follow the instructional schedule, and it's a printed schedule. And those plans will be delivered either by a school bus sent to the parents' and students' email addresses and shared through school status. The parent email addresses, and I think Sherwin Johnson is going to reiterate this a little later on, please make sure that we have the most current information in school status, whether if it's your email address and or cell phone number, because all of the information about what's going on in the school, the learning, asynchronous, synchronous learning will come through Active Parent. So the student's Google account will also be utilized to email the instructional work plans. Just to give you an example of what some of the schedules look like, of course, we've got elementary, we've got middle school, but then if you look at the high school schedule, it's broken down, and all of this is easily accessible on our website through our virtual learning page. You'll see there's the general bell schedule, the 80% day early release bell schedule, and the 60% day bell schedule. There's time embedded for their subject area classes, the number of minutes for each, time for lunch, as well as what they're going to be able to do at the end of the day. I'm now going to turn it back over to Dr. Smith to talk with us about attendance.
All right, good morning again. With attendance, please make sure that I want you to know that the teachers will take attendance daily. But what we need to understand is that attendance with physical environment is different than attendance with a virtual environment. Virtual learning attendance is more about engagement than physical presence. And that's really going to take an account for our students that are engaging on an asynchronous model, because that's when attendance we will be taking attendance through the engagement with the learning management platforms and with the return of the instructional work plans. So here you will see, when a synchronous online model, students will attend school virtually. They will log in through their LMS during their homeroom, and teachers will record attendance for students and submit to the office for input into our student information system, and that will be done by our office staff. For attendance, if they are attending asynchronous online, what is the difference? Synchronous means that they are attending when the teacher is live. Asynchronous online means that they can still log into the LMS, into Canvas to do their assignments, but it's after the live session has occurred. So attendance will be captured daily through engagement with the LMS. And then our asynchronous offline, which means that's where students cannot log into the LMS. So they're having to utilize the learning management or instructional management work plans. So attendance will be captured weekly through engagement with our learning management system and or submission of weekly assignments. District staff will make one-on-one contact with students using school status and or conference lines daily. So assignments will be delivered and collected weekly, and families without access to transportation will pick up and submit assignments via the district's bus routes. So for secondary attendance guidelines, it pretty much works the same as with our with the elementary as well. So now we'll turn it over to Dr. Bingham, Tiffany Fuller, Dr. Faye Strong, as we talk about special populations and services.
Good morning. The Jackson Public School District is committed to providing equitable education for all students. And for the following students, we have special guidelines. Our students with disabilities or who are currently on IEPs or individualized education programs, our 504 scholars, our at-risk students, English language learners, open doors, which is our intellectual gifted scholars, students in housing transition, and special program schools. Next slide. At all levels of instruction, if a student receives special services, the classroom teacher will collaborate with the appropriate service provider to decide or to determine what accommodations need to be put in place for that student to access the virtual learning environment. All teachers will take the responsibility for follow-up and check in with those students. Next slide. Individualized learning providers or our student or our children who are currently on IEPs, our special ed staff will continue to engage in professional development so that we can learn best practices for our services in the distance learning format. Also, special ed teachers will provide copies of the students' accommodations and modifications to each general education teacher and provide an overview of how to implement those accommodations. If the accommodations and or modifications need to be revised, an IEP meeting will be scheduled with the family members as well as the school staff to set up that IEP meeting. Special ed teachers will also provide instructional opportunities utilizing our online and our web-based programs, such as Fast for Word and Freckle programs that are most appropriate for each individual student. Special ed teachers, paraprofessionals, and our related service providers, which are our occupational therapists, our physical therapists, our speech therapists, and our behavior specialists will make direct contact with students and or their parents based on what was determined in the individualized education program. Special ed teachers will provide hard copies of educational activities for students to engage in at home, either through the mail or by our delivery system through the district. Special ed teachers will also continue to monitor the students' progress and provide additional learning programs or other resources to help them be successful in this virtual environment. Next slide. Scholars with 504 plans. All students who have an active 504 plan, that accommodation will be provided to their general education teacher, and that teacher will follow those accommodations. The teacher will provide instructional opportunities utilizing online and web-based programs. The teacher will also provide a hard copy of educational activities and or technology devices if they use prior to the school closure or whatever that child needs to be successful in this virtual platform. Teachers will continue to monitor their progress and add or identify additional learning programs to provide opportunities for these students to access remotely as they're determined by their student progress. Next slide. Lastly, we have our gifted education, our intellectually gifted scholars. The teachers will continue to engage in professional development to learn best practices for instruction in this virtual learning platform. They will also provide exploratory activities that spark student interest by utilizing online and web-based programs to accommodate the students' learning needs. Gifted education teachers will collaborate with the grade level teachers and the content area teachers to identify additional learning opportunities for students to access remotely as needed. Gifted education teacher will also leave learning activities for students as well as links to activities so that they can continue to grow during their distance learning after the virtual school day is over. The gifted education teachers will also assist with social emotional development by providing group opportunities with their peers as well as working on activities together. The gifted education teachers, along with the other special program teachers, will provide hard copies of educational activities for the students to engage in at home, and they will either be delivered through the mail or through our district delivery services. They will also make direct contact with parents and students through a virtual platform on a weekly basis to provide technical assistance or to report the student's progress. Now we will pass it on to Ms. Fuller.
Good morning. So our English learners will be educated and provide instruction from our ESL teachers as well as our general education teacher. The two teachers will collaborate and develop plans for our English learners based on their individual needs. Our EL teachers will provide instructional opportunities using the virtual platform. Also, our EL teachers and our paraprofessionals will schedule bi-weekly contact with our EL students as well as parents to ensure that their progress is continued and their language proficiency is continued to be developed. Our EL teachers will also make available hard copies, and they will be distributed through either the mail or the bus. They also will look for other opportunities in order to differentiate instruction, whether it's virtually or if we also need to send it out through hard copies. Next slide. For those students that are in housing transition, we have a district liaison that is Dr. Strong. She will be in contact bi-weekly with those students and families, checking on them to make sure that their needs are being met, whether it's food or shelter. And with those families, as far as virtual learning is concerned, she'll make sure that they have access to virtual learning or make other arrangements with staff in order to accommodate. She will also make sure that those students are being monitored as far as their academic success and ensuring that the virtual environment is able to be carried out, or either other arrangements are being made, but she'll make continued contact with those students in housing transition. Next slide. For special programs, those special programs such as our APAC program, our Arts Access, early college and high school, and our IB program in Montessori, those programs will continue. They will continue through various virtual learning environments, but we will still have those programs. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this time. I'd like to briefly discuss our communication platforms with you. First, I'll list out the various platforms that we use, then tell you a little bit about them. Our main hub for information is our website. That's www.jackson.k12.ms.us. We also use Active Parent. We have a key communicator newsletter that's shared digitally. We have an automated phone messaging system called Blackboard Connect, also known as robocalls. We use School Status, which was mentioned earlier. It's a school to family, student, parent, home communication. We use emails, social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And we also have 2 channels on Comcast Cable, channel 18 and 19, that we operate to share information with our stakeholders. So I'll begin with our website. Our website is a communications hub. Again, that address is www.jackson.k12.ms.us. We're going to have it pulled up for you very shortly. We publish news and announcements on our web page, upcoming events. The website was transformed last fall to make it more responsive and easier and user-friendly to operate. The platform allows us to easily share content with schools. We have school web managers who manage the content on school websites, and it allows the ability to post and share information with our stakeholders. We even can accommodate classroom web pages. So I'd like to just show you a few examples of how to use our website. If you'll note right there, we have a multi-rotator platform where we constantly rotate the biggest items that are major importance within the district at the current time. Right there, you see it. We have our virtual learning plan showcase, information about enrollment and registration, and our frequently asked questions. So that's right there at the top, easy to find so that you can get that information. If you'll scroll down a little bit, I'll show you where we have post our news items. So if you want to know what's going on within JPS, this is the place to go. This is where you will find the official information about the district. I want to emphasize that the media contact us for information. Okay, so if you want to know firsthand information about JPS, I would encourage you not to go to your friend's Facebook page, not to go to the local news media for official information. Go to this website and you'll surely be able to find what you need. Some of the items we have showcased here, our virtual learning plan. I'll just show you how to access that there. If you would open that up, Dr. Smith, thank you. So everything you need to know about the virtual learning plan is right there, okay? We have attachments that you can print off and read at your leisure, but the entire plan is posted right there, okay? Everything that's being discussed in this session with you is right there at your fingertips. So I would encourage you to print that down if you can, or take the time to just browse through it when you have an opportunity. Okay, if we'll go back to the main page, and again, I just want to show you where we post our news items. So there you will find information where it says news and features. That's where we post information that's going on within the district. Articles that we publish, we generally have something new every other day on that page. So I would encourage you to visit it as often as you can. If you will scroll to the right, I believe you can find access to our. Okay, well let's show them this. The upcoming. Oh yeah, right there. That's what I wanted to show. So when you click more on the news and features page, it brings up a history of articles that we've published. It captures them by the month and the year. So you can go back and look and check different articles that have been published. Additionally, right up at the top there to the right, you can easily, with those icons, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you can easily access our social media platforms. You can go straight to them. So that's a great feature. And another feature that I wanted to share with you that is popular among our parents, if you'll go up top to where we have our calendar, right there, yes. So right there, you can find a one-stop shop of everything that's going on within the district, including the event that you're participating in right now. It's broken down by week, day, and year. Okay, and we also capture the entire calendar for the whole school year. So these are major things that you might want to print out and put on your refrigerator at home or in a high traffic visible area within your home, so you'll know what's coming up within the school district. It talks about professional development, our holidays. You can find information regarding report cards, midterm progress reports, and things of that nature. So just take an opportunity to browse our website. I think you will find it to be an extremely valuable tool for you. Moving right along, I want to talk a little bit about Active Parent. So Active Parent is a web-based application that parents can use to keep track of students' records, such as attendance, behavior, and grades. Now, JPS parents with more than one student can access records for all of them through one account. So, and the information parents provide in Active Parent during registration, and thank you for pulling that up, is used to connect all of our communication platforms. So it's extremely important that when you register, that your information, your contact information that you provide is accurate. Your phone number and your email address. Make sure that the primary number that you select is the one that you would like for us to contact you with. And if for some reason during the school year your numbers change, it's very important and incumbent upon you to notify the school that these changes have been made. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're not receiving the information that we are sending out through our platforms, is because your contact information has not been updated. Okay. Our one of the other platforms that we use is called the JPS Key Communicator. Now, it's our electronic news publication. Now, each issue of the newsletter is done monthly, and there we capture all of the great things that are going on within the district. Recognition of accomplishments of our staff members and our students, but we also use it as a tool to inform you of different things that are coming up. For example, right now we're working on a back to school edition that's going to outline many of the things discussed in this parent session. Last fall we spotlighted our seniors who graduated, the senior class. So that's a great tool. Again, we need your email address in order to send you that publication, and you can register for it on our website. So you have to subscribe. We don't automatically just start sending you this newsletter. You must subscribe to it. We also use an automated phone messaging system called Blackboard Connect. Some people call it robocalls. Okay, so you may have got one to remind you to attend this meeting here today. I emphasize again, it's very important that we have the correct phone number so you can receive these messages, so that we can keep you abreast of any major announcements that the district needs to push out. This is one of the methods that we use. Additionally, schools use this as a tool. So the principal might want to remind you of an upcoming test, or they might want to remind you of something going on with the devices or training or whatever it may be of the day. But you can't receive that if we don't have the correct phone number. So that is a platform that we use quite frequently. And it's also used to check attendance as well. School status, which was mentioned earlier, is another platform that we use. It enables parents and teachers to communicate one-on-one. Okay, so this is a platform that's used between the schools and your home. It's how principals and teachers contact our parents. Another valuable tool, but it's ineffective if we don't have the correct information. So teachers can send text messages directly to parents' phones. There are no required apps or portals for parents to download or manage this platform. Emails and text messages can be translated in multiple languages, and research shows that students and parents that are engaged through these platforms perform better in school. So, it's a great way to keep in contact with what's going on in your child's school. In fact, several of our schools were awarded Chromebooks by the school status company for the great work that they were doing in using this platform this past school year. Additionally, we use email to communicate to our parents. So just make sure that your email address is updated. Many of us have several emails. I myself have 3, but you need to, the one you give to the school needs to be your primary email address, and you need to check it periodically so that you can know what's going on. Again, our social media platforms, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Most of the content that we put out on our website, we also publish on these platforms, because we know that our audiences vary in the way they like to receive information. So we try to meet our audience where they are. So I encourage you to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, sign up for the notifications. Now on Facebook, it's Jackson Public Schools with no spaces. And we also publish content on our YouTube page. Okay, our YouTube is www.youtube.com/JPSITV. You're going to find that that to be extremely valuable this coming school year, because of our virtual learning option. We're going to be pushing a lot of content that's academically driven, lessons that are done through video presentations. So I encourage you to subscribe to our ITV page, sign up for notifications, so when a new video pops up, you have it in a timely fashion. And finally, we also use instructional television. We have we actually have 2 channels on Comcast. So if you're a Comcast subscriber, on channels 18 and 19, we publish content through those mechanisms, and we'll also be using it in conjunction with ITV to share videos of different lessons that we have that will be featured to align with our virtual learning plan. So there are multiple ways to receive information. You can also share information with us. Later on, there's going to be an email address regarding COVID-19 that you can share information. If you have any questions about these communications platforms, following my presentation, I'm going to share my email address with you, and I'll be glad to assist you with anything that you need. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And now we'll talk about registration and devices. Real quick, parents, if you have not registered your child for the 2021 school year, please get that completed as quickly as possible. We're trying to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our students, and we can only do that with our students that have registered for the 2021 school year. The purpose of our annual registration is to ensure that parents have updated that information. I like to use the analogy of going to the doctor at the beginning of the year, how you have to update annually. That is also how we do in JPS as mandated by the Mississippi Department of Education. So we must have updated information annually. Also for our devices, we are working diligently to ensure that our students do have devices. So we do have devices on order. However, with our inventory, that we are working feverishly to ensure that each household at this point in time does have a device in order to engage in learning synchronously or asynchronously. However, households will receive devices only if you have registered with the school district for the upcoming school year. The registration is for school, not a registering for a device. Our distribution of our instructional meal packets. So we will have nutrition on the go as well as grab and go meal sites. So to ensure that our families are receiving food throughout the day as well. So these instructional packets as well as food will be available as well to be picked up at these sites. And so we have our elementary school sites as well as our secondary school sites that will be enabled to help us to distribute packets and meals. Collection of instructional packets. Those are our students that are not connected with our online virtual environment. So this means that we will not have to do both. They will, if you're engaged with your child's school virtually, you will not have to worry about an instructional packet. This is just to create those equitable supports for our parents and our families that do not have connection to technology to be able to participate virtually. Those assignments will be collected weekly and distributed weekly in order for teachers to look at them, check for accuracy, and also checking for attendance for engagement in this process. Now we will turn it over to Selena Anderson with our Parenting Center and Community Support.
Good morning, parents. The Jackson Public School Parent Engagement Program provides parents with educational resource materials, equipment, information to become more effective in working at home on specific skills. As you know, the center has moved, so for parents who are familiar with it, we've moved. It's the old Enix building. We are now located at 1224 Eminence Road in the Morrison Complex. The center is open year-round. Hours of operation is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and evening hours are by appointments. The phone number here at the center is 960-8945. The staff members will be available to connect you with parent resources as well as resources out in the community. Some of the resources that the Parent Center will offer, we have our home study packets. These packets are used to reinforce and support benchmark skills that are taught in the classroom. Parents can obtain a student prescription sheet from the center, or you may go on the website to the Parent and Family Engagement and get a prescription sheet. It is to be completed by your child's teacher, returned to the center. Staff will prepare individual packets based on teacher recommendation. We have what we call our reading enrichment program. These are books that are grade level K through 12. We also have books on our summer reading list. Those books are also books for IB, APAC, the various special programs. We provide parent workshops for our parents. We invite our parents to take part in any scheduled meetings, workshops, and computer training that we have in the center. The center has a service, our Edison die service. Parents can cut out letters. We can laminate things for various projects such as science, reading, culture fair. And we can also print out posters to help your child to set up a classroom environment at home. We have what we call our parent requested services. We know a lot of times our parents are looking for other things other than academic. So the staff will work with parents in securing community services and assistance that's out in the community. Right now, I will turn you over to Ms. Thea Faulkner, who is Partners in Ed Director.
Great morning, parents. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know that we have shared a lot of information with you, and it may feel like it's overwhelming, but I want you to know you have a group of caring JPS staff members. We are family, and we'll get through this together. So one of the ways we are doing that is the Parents of Public Schools office has partnered with us to provide a customized training for our parents to learn how to navigate through the technology that will be necessary during this virtual teaching and learning. You'll see a link on your screen right now, and we're asking you to please complete the link to register for the class. The class is free. It will show you how to navigate the JPS website. It will also talk to you about how to use Google Classroom, Canvas, and any other platforms that will be used during virtual instruction. We got you. We'll work this thing out together, and we'll respond to whatever your needs are so that in the end we're all successful throughout this process. Thank you so much.
Ms. Thomas will wrap us up with COVID community support.
So good morning again. As Mr. Johnson mentioned, there is a COVID-19 email address, and you see it here, covid19@jackson.k12.ms.us. I know that Dr. Smith and Dr. Grisby are very good about putting information in the chat. So with that being said, this I do want you to know this email address is monitored. It's managed by our web manager, and often our chief of staff will review the emails. I've even myself personally attended to some of the emails. So we want you to know that we're available during this trying time. We know that COVID has brought a lot of trauma to our families, our staff members as well. And so we want you to know that within this, on this page and with this website, we do have information about physical health care. It is so important that you all as parents and that we engage and we teach our children, because I have a child in Jackson Public School as well, personal responsibility and accountability as it relates to the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to make sure that they're wearing facial coverings whenever they're in public settings. And we know that we're dealing with virtual learning right now, but whenever they're out and they're engaging in something else, please make certain that they're wearing their facial coverings, that they continue to exercise good hand washing and disinfecting those materials. Well, if they're at home and they're utilizing this computer over and over again, they need to get in the habit of disinfecting the keyboards and so forth. So again, we have information about health and physical wellness, as well as social emotional health wellness during this time. We want to make sure that we have videos there. We also have other information, as you can see, CDC guidelines. Again, covid19@jackson.k12.ms.us is the email address, and we want to hear your concerns, and we want to hear any recommendation or feedback that you have for us there. At this time, Dr. Grisby, I think will close us out and entertain my questions and answers. Thank you all.
Thank you all again for joining us. And I know Ms. Marshall Thomas is going to probably be answering quite a few of your questions. She did answer the question about device distribution in the chat, so that is coming soon. So Ms. Marshall Thomas, I've got about 20 questions listed here, and there may be some that our team have secured through the private chat. One of the questions that we got was about high school schedules, and is synchronous or asynchronous optional?
For students with devices that are considered to be synchronous online, you will have to sign in for your synchronous lessons. So we're on an 85-minute block. So of the 85-minute time, 60 minutes of that is synchronous learning. So which means that your child will have to be on for the first 60 minutes of each block. And then the additional 25 minutes is set aside for asynchronous learning. It also is also set up for any individualized supports that students may need with the teachers.
Awesome. And so I think that also answers the question someone had, will there be some tutorial provided by the school? And
Yes.
that answers that question. The next question was about arts, performance classes, APAC, remote performance instruction, as well as co-curricular, band, athletics, all of that. Are there any updates from the high school division on that?
So in those particular courses, the teachers have been planning to make sure that the students get as much experience with the actual physical performance, as much practice with instruments, whether it's students in APAC or students in regular band classes. So they're planning, different ways and strategies. How do we engage to ensure that our students are receiving as much of that exposure and experience as possible?
Another question that's being asked is, will the grades that are posted in Canvas be the same grades that are posted in Active Parent?
Yes, the grades will be the same.
Open house. When is high school's open house, virtual open house?
It is Sunday, and Sunday is August
The 9th.
August 9th. It's from 4 o'clock to 6, 4 to 6 on Sunday.
Canvas question. Will there be real-time tech support available for high school scholars with devices?
Yes, and if you look in the virtual plan, the tech support plan is in the virtual plan. It kind of lays it out depending upon what type of tech support you need. This is who you would contact.
Will lessons be recorded for students who are unable to join the Zoom at the designated time to access at a later time?
Yes, lessons will be recorded.
Lunch for scholars, what will that look like?
There's a link that lays out in the virtual plan that lays out our child nutrition's food distributions plan. So if you click on the nutrition department's website, it lays out where the sites are, and they're currently updating it. So I don't have the specifics before me. So if you click on the link, it'll tell you exactly what times those sites will be available, and also the distribution plan for meals.
I'm trying to get these. I see some more coming up in the chat, and the team can get those down. Registration process, they're saying that they're registering, but they're unable to see where they are in the process. And I don't know if we have a representative from the Office of Enrollment Services, but they're asking questions about registration. It's not showing that it's being processed.
I'm here, Doc. Kirsch is
Oh,
here.
hey, Ms. Kirsch. That's one of the questions that they're having is registration is not showing up.
So if they are not showing registration, it could be something going on with their active parent. If they have already completed registration and they're going back in, that means that could be that the school has already processed. So if they have completed registration, they're trying to go back into their account. The school has already processed and they have deactivated the registration, so they cannot go back in. However, if they have not completed registration for 2021, then they need to email us at the support active parent so we can look at their account and see what's going on. But we do ask our parents to be patient with us because our emails are coming in very busy. So we're trying to get back with you guys as soon as possible. So just send us an email and we will answer the email as quickly as possible.
Okay. How do they sign up for school status? I don't know if that's a part of the registration process.
No, ma'am, we don't handle school status. I think that may be something that we may need to ask Mr. Johnson about, maybe.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, the parents are asking, how do they sign up for school status?
It's done through the school.
So they need to reach out to the school principal to make sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So please make sure you reach out to your school's principal to make sure that you are signed up for school status. We have a few more.
You can access school status links on the web. So if you click on if you go on the district's website, there's additional information for school status there as well.
There's a few more questions in the chat. Dr. Smith, do you want me to keep going, or did you want to take field some of the questions?
So what I saw, there was a question about timing and dealt with the school day because there is a change in time in Ms. Marsha Thomas. So can you explain the time that students will need to be engaged? I see some parents said high school time has changed from 9 to 4. Will they need to be on at 8 o'clock? So can you kind of explain how their schedule will work?
Yes. So if you look at the schedule in the virtual plan, high school homeroom block starts at 9 o'clock. So from 9:05, well, 9:05, but we're asking everybody to sign in at 9 o'clock. From 9 o'clock until 9:25 is your homeroom block. During the homeroom block, that's where you will engage with that's where attendance is taken. Also, any supports around SEL. We have lessons developed to talk about social and emotional learning. We also have the core traits lessons that were developed. So from 9 o'clock to 9:25, all students should be signed in to the homeroom block. So for the first day of school, if you notice in the plan, it said that students will receive additional information through their homeroom blocks. So in the homeroom blocks, they'll receive their links for their first block class, their second block, third and fourth block class for the first day of school. So it'll be very important. And that information will be emailed to the students' email addresses, their Google account email addresses. It will be emailed to the parents via their school status, and also via their normal email they use for registration.
Another parent asks, when will schedules be available?
Schedules will be available Sunday in preparation for orientation. And you could view your schedule in active parent and active student. So schedules won't be mailed. You will have to go through your active parent and active student accounts to see those.
When will these emails be sent out with information on homeroom teachers? Is that Sunday?
No, it probably won't be Sunday. It may be Monday and Tuesday in preparation for class on Wednesday.
Okay.
The teachers are getting their rosters, their homeroom rosters together, and so they have to sort based on who's in their homeroom and where those links will go.
All right, there's a question. How do parents sign up for Canvas to view what students are doing? Parents will be given an observer account, and that information will come from the schools itself. Ms. Marsha Thomas, would you like to elaborate on that, on how parents will be able to sign up for Canvas?
What we'll do is when the Canvas information is available from the schools, they will send something to all parents via school status, and there'll be a link for them to go ahead and set up their accounts.
Okay, so I answered this question. Somebody's asking, what is school status? School status is the mechanism or the vehicle in which schools will be communicating. It may come in the form of an email or text message. Schools can even call. So it's gonna look real foreign. It won't be a JPS number. It looks like it may have a 228 area code. It may have it may be a little different than what you see. So when schools communicate with school status, they send most of the time they text your phone. And so if you see a number that starts with like a 228 area code, or it looks real funny, it's not spam. Click on it, and it's going to have the information in there that you need. But in order for you to get that information, as Mr. Johnson described, your information must be correct. So if you register for school for your child in July, and you have since changed your cell phone number, then you would need to make sure that that information is again updated. Anytime you change your number from what schools have, you need to update the school with your new information. That's the only way that you're going to receive the most accurate information in a timely manner.
Let me clarify something also on Dr. Smith about school status. There's nothing to do to register for school status. You don't register for school status. It automatically pulls your information when you register. So there's nothing to register for. But if you're having an issue, for example, you have a new number or any information that needs to be changed, you will need to communicate with the school to get the information changed.
A parent,
so no registration required.
Yeah, and a parent asks on that note, can both the father and mother have a school status account, or is it just limited to one person?
It's just one person and one number.
Got you. The question was, when is the first day of school? So right now, the first day of school is still the 12th, but please stay posted in the event that information changes between now and then. So officially, the first day of school is the 12th unless the information changes. So stay posted. And any changes, as Mr. Johnson has shared, will be posted on the web. So he will let the community know immediately about any changes going on in the schedule. Looking through for some of the questions that we may have not answered. ROTC, Ms. Marshall Thomas, they've asked about, how will that continue, ROTC?
As far as the in-class JRTC program, they will have classes via synchronous classes, just like the other courses. And for those after-school activities, we're going to handle those just like we're handling our extracurricular activities. Those will be scheduled. So if you are participating in color guards or any of those activities, they're scheduling sometime after school, just like they're doing the extracurricular activities.
One parent said, we understand that the virtual orientation is this Sunday from 4 to 6. What do we need to do to attend the virtual session? How do we go about attending the session?
The schedule and the link is on the district's website. Sharon, can you add that page to the chat so they can access the high school virtual, the freshman family night orientations?
Okay.
And you do have access, Mr. Johnson, to share your screen.
Okay.
Now the activity and the event for Sunday night is only for freshmen. The additional grade levels will be scheduled. 10th grade will have a separate orientation. 11th grade will have a separate orientation, and Wednesday night is a separate orientation. And schools will give you that information. I think they said that Saturday they're going to release their particular dates and times. It'll be located on the same website that Mr. Johnson is sharing. So Sunday night is only for freshmen. It's just our freshman orientation. All other grade levels will have a separate session starting Monday night.
While we're getting the screen shared, we have a parent who's coming to us, Ms. Marshall Thomas, from out of state. Who do they need to talk to make sure that their child has fulfilled all of the graduation requirements? I believe they're an upcoming senior. So who in the school would they need to talk to make sure that they have all that they need to graduate?
And Marsha Thomas, I did send the parents something privately as well, but go ahead and just say that for everyone.
Yeah, it's the counselor. You would call the school to schedule some time with a counselor, and it could be via phone or Zoom. As long as your child is registered and we have all their records, the counselor can pull that information and evaluate their transcript to see what courses they have or any courses that they need to meet graduation requirements.
Is this the correct page, Ms. Marsh?
The flyer. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Okay.
As we're filtering some of the questions, do any of our team members want to take this opportunity? We've got another 15 minutes to field questions, to share some information. I know Ms. Strong, Dr. Strong, we shared some information about the supports that you provide. Is there anything that you may want to put out there to our parents to indicate how else maybe you can support?
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
As far as the support with the parents who are part of McKinney-Vento, I would definitely take that information that I received from when they complete registration, and then I would reach out to them as far as any additional needs that they may have. I will definitely get in contact with them personally.
Okay. Thank you. We just wanted them to put a face with a name so that they'll know who they're talking to when they're contacting you about the needs that they have. Any other group on here that want to say anything before we wrap up?
just want to say real quick, I'm looking at a lot of the questions that you have about schedules, about accessing Canvas, accessing Google Classroom. That information will be provided by your school. So that information, as it relates to any links, any websites, that information will be provided by your school. Device pickup will be provided by your school. So even the how you get engaged with school status, once you register, that information is downloaded into our student management system, and then that system pulls that information in, so schools will have an opportunity to then communicate with you through school status. So there's not a link for school status for you to access. That information is automatic once you have updated your information in SAMS.
And this is just a freshman orientation, freshman family night events that we had. So August 9th from 4 to 6 is the freshman orientation. And if you go to each of the schools' homepage, you will find the link for your school's particular Zoom meeting.
This is awesome. Thank you for sharing this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, families, we look like we'll probably be ending this session a little earlier. Again, any of those frequently asked questions will be posted on our website by the end of this week. And in the event that you go throughout your day and you say, oh, I wish I had asked that question, feel free to come back and join us this evening. We will continue a live presentation. And again, don't forget these sessions they are recorded, and we will post them on the web as well. I'm going to turn you back over to Dr. Kimberly Smith, Executive Director of the Office of Teaching and Learning, as she, closes us out for our lunch.
All right, thank you again. I want to reiterate, if you have any questions that you felt that were not answered or that you didn't get enough detail, I have indicated again our COVID-19 email address. Send an email to that address. You can be as specific as you need to be, because those emails are actually channeled to one of us to provide you more specific information. So please make sure that you utilize that address to ask any questions. And we thank you all for attending, and we thank you all for your engagement. And visit our website and read the virtual plan. Everything that we've discussed is in the virtual plan. So if you feel that your question wasn't answered or you didn't get a chance to ask your question, look at the virtual plan, peruse through it, find the section that you need, and then if you still have a question, utilize that email address. So thank you for engaging with us during our lunch and learn, and then we'll be back at 5:30 if you want to rejoin us again for dinner bites. So have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Team, rejoin. Thank you.